Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Josh Strife Hayes. This video is an academic and analytical look at exactly what mistakes the action MMORPG Neverwinter has made that, in my opinion, have ruined the game in 2019. I feel I'm finally able to explain the insidious gameplay pattern that I've been seeing for the past 5 years in a simple way. Because of the essay nature of this video, the footage in the background is simply gameplay. You don't need to be able to see the screen to understand or follow this video. Two major things concerning Neverwinter happened today. The first is, I finally managed to understand why Neverwinter Live, currently on mod 16, is so absolutely awful. And two, I've discovered there's a Neverwinter private server running a Module 2 Shadowmantle version of the game. The footage in the background is the Module 2 gameplay. I'll make a video explaining how to access this at some point. For now, let's talk about Live and why Neverwinter is dying. Neverwinter is a game near and dear to my heart. I'm a huge Dungeons & Dragons fan. I played back on the Arc launcher. Then, when it came to Steam, I racked up over 2,500 hours playing on my Hunter Ranger. I was a proud member of the Legit Channel Alpha Guild. I got my Twitch and YouTube start playing Neverwinter. I even have a large cardboard display stand of Valindra stealing the crown of Neverwinter in my room. So when I tell you I am a fan of this game, I want you to understand I really am a fan. And I was critiquing the game out of love. Unfortunately, the reality I discovered has caused me to lose a great deal of that love. Neverwinter has been going downhill for some time. The player base is dropping, the content creators that once pulled in tens of thousands of YouTube views and hundreds of Twitch watchers are feeling burnt out and neglected. And after all these years of asking why, I think I've found the answer. Now, if you're a fan of Neverwinter, feel free to correct any mistakes you think I make in this video, but for non-fans, allow me to quickly explain how the game works. You, as a player, start at level 1, and the process of playing through and levelling up is actually amazingly good fun. Neverwinter has one of the best levelling sections of any game. It's balanced and fun and just plain enjoyable. The journey from level 1 to max level is fantastic. Once at max level, you begin the grind toward endgame. You may be maximum level, but you're nowhere near maximum power yet. You have campaigns to complete, dungeons to clear, monsters to hunt. This is your grind period. Lots and lots of grinding. It's not a terrible part of the game, but it is tedious. Then, once you've spent years grinding, and I do mean years, you'll reach endgame, the highest and hardest dungeons, the toughest content. However, this is both pointless, as there's very few rewards worth aiming for, and hard to find a group for, as the pool of players able to actually complete this content is very, very shallow. Now, many people, when they talk about Neverwinter's decline, like to point out the following issues. The slow power creep, making you chase rarer and rarer items with ridiculously low RNG drop rates, devaluing older weapons and armor sets with the release of everything new, removing ways to make any amount of Astral Diamonds, the VIP in-game currency, time-gating the campaigns, making enchantment upgrades have a chance to fail, making some bosses pure number checks, the pay-to-win aspect and selling of direct increases in power through the Zen market, removing class powers, feats, paragon paths, and entire playstyles. And while all these are legitimate concerns and absolutely do ruin the game, they're just symptoms of the problem, not the main problem itself. The problem with Neverwinter is much, much broader, and it's taken me several years to see the overarching pattern of behaviour and work it out. Here, presented simply for you, is the problem with Neverwinter and the reason the game is dying. Neverwinter Online has 3 main groups of players. No matter how hardcore you play, what class you play, or how much you love or hate the game, you'll fall into one of these 3 groups. We'll represent the groups with a scale on the screen. They range from one extreme to the other. These groups are essential to understanding why Neverwinter is so greedy, so I'll explain in detail how they work and then why. The first, Group 1. New players still levelling from 1 to maximum level, be that 60, 70, 80, or whatever it may be in the future. These players haven't hit the majority of the game yet. They're still learning their class, and they don't need to worry too much about difficulty. The game is well paced for them. This is the most enjoyable part of the game in my opinion, and every encounter is balanced and possible. Group 1. New players still levelling. The second, Group 2, are players who have reached maximum level but are still gearing up for maximum endgame content. They may have much better equipment than the average player, but they're not world class yet. They'll have a few enchantments not quite maxed out. They'll have some items that aren't the best in slot for their class. They have room for improvement. 95% of the game's content may be available to them at this point, but it's that magical 5% they aren't quite good enough for yet that keeps them grinding. That is their goal. A totally acceptable player, but with a place to go to still. And the third group, Group 3, players who are maximum level and do have the best in slot. They have all the items they need, all the enchantments maxed, all the skills to finish all the dungeons. This group, Group 3, is capable of finishing all content and clearing all dungeons with relative ease because they've earned the right through years of hard work, learning their class, their skill, and grinding for the equipment. As a player, you progress on this line from left to right, from Group 1 new player to Group 2 established player to Group 3 powerful veteran. Here, however, is where our main problem lies. The mechanic I'm about to explain covers every single update, every mod, every change this game has ever made. It's the core overriding reason behind everything Cryptic do. Cryptic is a business. They need to make money. And you do not make much money from Group 1 or Group 3 players. Group 1 are still levelling and enjoying the game. They do not need to buy Zen, the premium currency. They do not need to upgrade their enchantments or equipment, as the game will drop new stuff in a reasonable time. They do not need VIP status yet. The game is not difficult enough to require it. On the opposite end of the scale, you also do not make much money from the ultra endgame veterans because they have either already spent it and have a surplus of in-game currency, or have no need to buy anything new. They already have maximum enchantments. They already have max gear. These players do not have anything left to refine or chase or covet. They are complete. The middle group, however, the players with above average equipment but not quite overpowered, Group 2, these players spend money because they need to. You can indeed play Neverwinter without spending a penny, but this section of your gameplay life, Group 2, this is where you're heavily encouraged to pay. Pay to upgrade your enchantment and go and join the Group 3 players. Pay for a better mount. Pay for a campaign completion token. Pay for a better companion. Pay to get out of this Group 2 rabble and into the elite echelons of the Group 3 players. This middle group of players are your money makers. These players have invested enough time into the game to want to be the best, and now you're selling them the ability to join the best. So as a company, it would make financial sense to keep as many players as possible in Group 2. Good enough to feel powerful, but not quite good enough to actually finish your game without paying a little bit of money. Every single update Neverwinter releases is designed to do one of two things: push the players in Group 1 into Group 2, or pull the players from Group 3 back into Group 2. When a new module is released, the new armour will be easily and instantly available, and that armour will be equal to, or in some cases more powerful than, the previous best in the game. Why is this done? It's so all those players in Group 1 are instantly pushed into Group 2. Everyone is given an equal chance. This is great for new players. An instant fast track into Group 2. Good stuff for them. However, the previous Group 3 players who spent months grinding for the best armour, everything they had is now devalued. It's no better than the easily accessible new stuff. What is the point of grinding for months if you're just going to be given brand new, better armour every update? Well, it's simply designed to pull you back from endgame powerful into the rest of the Group 2 players. You're good, but you're not good enough. I ground Tiamat and Demogorgon for months to get the best weapons and jewellery, and as soon as the next update came out, everything I had was pointless. I'd gone from Group 3 back squarely into Group 2. Why do they do this? Well, we've established that. Because this is where your money is. These players, what we're referring to as Group 2, spend the money. A new module releases, and Group 1 are pushed forward and Group 3 are pulled back. This is great for those in Group 1 and sucks for those in Group 3, but now we are all in 2. It's now an arms race to be the best. Those who were the best want to regain their lead. Those who have never been the best want to seize this opportunity to pull ahead. So everyone spends money to get the new best things. Upgrading equipment, buying companions. Money is thrown at the game because every time an update happens, a new Group 3 must be formed. But items, weapons and armour aren't the only thing that are changed. Skills, character playstyles, PowerPoints, feats, everything is changed in the name of pulling everyone into Group 2. In the most recent mod, PowerPoints were removed and feats were changed. Character progression now works in a different way. It claims to be in the name of balancing, and while I can believe balance does have something to do with this, I'm more focused on its actual goal, making it easier for Rank 1 players to move into Rank 2. The latest mod also added scaling, which effectively makes every enemy much harder for maximum players, which pulls all the Rank 3 players back into Rank 2. While in the situation of Rank 2, there's plenty of problems the game creates, and they can all be solved by money. If there are too many campaigns to complete, you can pay real money to buy a campaign completion token. If there are too many mounts giving powerful bonuses, just buy them with Zen. If you need a better companion, then pay for them. If the latest update has increased the enchantment level, and what was previously the best is now simply average, you can pay to upgrade them. This system is brilliant for new players, but absolutely appalling for older players, because after years and years, we are starting to notice it. Progression is pointless, because it will be reset next module in the name of profit. Grinding for the best item is meaningless when the best items never have a long enough shelf life to justify the time invested to get them. Neverwinter has the best combat system I've ever experienced in an online game. It has the history and lore of Dungeons and Dragons, and the world itself is just beautiful. However, every update, every armour, weapon or artifact change, every class power change, every addition, every removal, every slight change is designed to move all players into this Group 2 section. And then, once they are all there, sell them the ability to advance to Group 3. Then, in a few months, once you've fleeced everyone for as much money as you can, reset it and do it all over again. It's like saving a drowning man from the sea, only to throw him back in a few moments later, then saving him again, then throwing him back again, charging him money every time he's saved. If Neverwinter stopped doing this, if they allowed Group 1, 2 and 3 players to consistently exist from update to update, they'd have a brilliant game. However, they're focused on monetizing it, fleecing every penny they can get by guaranteeing that players are always in the perfect place where they want to pay to progress. I loved Neverwinter. I do not love this. And until you can provide a game that's more focused on long-term gameplay than short-term profit per module, I can't, in all good faith, recommend it as a good game anymore. And do you want to know, honestly, how much that hurts for me to say, Cryptic? I was one of your greatest advocates. I loved Neverwinter. I did multiple 24-hour Neverwinter streams on Twitch. I had a chat with Stromslinger, the community manager, on Twitch. I made guide videos that have been seen by hundreds of thousands of players to your hardest dungeons. You had an army of content creators, including myself, Garlan, Nova, Silvery, Galactic Underwear, Lord Willow, Northside, Cali Gold, The Assist Man, and more. You have an absolute army of devoted, loyal fans, and you push them back time and time again to make more money. If you're a new player, I hope this cycle won't happen to you, but it will. You'll grind, you'll spend months working, you'll get the best, then an update will remove it and you'll be back with everyone else, and someone else will grind and get the best, and eventually you just won't have the energy, the strength or the money to keep up with this treadmill that they force you to be on. Thank you very much for your time and thank you for watching. If you have any feedback, leave it in the comments below. You can chat to me live on Twitch or on Discord. Links for both are in the description of this video. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.